for maybe 4 or 5 years now. Great chopper. You will stall out the tractor before you plug this thing up. Ran a John Deere chopper before that, and that thing was junk. A couple old lawnmowers. From over here we got a wood chipper. It hasn't seen much use in a while, but it works very well. We got the John Deere 6120M. This tractor does most of our mowing and planting. We grow all of our own forages here, and this tractor sees a lot of work doing that. We got a Manure round baler. We bought this I think 3 years ago, and it's been a great round baler. We went with this because it has no belts. It's all metal rollers inside, and my experience with the belt round balers is not a good one. So here's the backside of the Dion. The main reason that this thing doesn't clog, if you've run a John Deere chopper or even some of the old New Hollands, the forage enters into here and there's an auger that pushes it this way and then blows it into your dump wagon, and this goes straight into the blower, so it gets rid of that auger, and that auger was the big clog up deal with that. So we got an old Ford 8000. This thing doesn't see very much work at all. It's more of a display tractor. We shine it up and park it out front. Tractor just like that, not this one, was the main workhorse of the dairy, and my boss remembers riding on it when he was a little kid, so he went and bought one. This is our mower, 830 Moco John Deere, center pivot, good mower, minimum problems. It's just your simple mower. There's our fertilizer spreader. Solstice spreads fertilizer and potted lime pretty well. See what we got, rubber rollers in there. I don't know, works for us. People prefer the whales. Brilliant cedar, everybody's got one of those. This thing's pretty old, but does the job. Crone, tedder. We've had this for a couple of years now. This thing is built solid. No problems yet, but like I said, it's only a couple of years old. This is our round bale wrapper. This works off a remote control. It's got its own engine, so you can just put it on an old tractor like this, or a pickup truck, a mule, gator, whatever, and the remote, you sit in the skid steer or a tractor or whatever you're putting the bales on there with, press a button, it wraps, dumps, and you put another one on. It's great. I love it. It's actually fun to use and does a great job. This is our rotary rig. Coon. We bought this secondhand. Must be 10 years ago. Been a good rake. I don't know. Side arm mower. I don't use that much. A couple of the other guys do, and they seem to like it. I would rather run a brush hog than that thing, but I guess you can trim the edges better. This is the brush hog mower. It's an oldie. We picked it up at an auction. The John Deere 709. I mean, if you can run it over with the tractor, this thing will chop it up. Nothing stops this. Small square baler, the New Holland. We bought this secondhand. We've owned it for, must be about 6-7 years now. New Holland baler. Everybody has them. Everybody likes them. They are what they are. Coming out here, we have our new liquid manure spreader. Just bought it. Don't really know how to use it. We got this, the Red Viper injectors on it. Looks pretty beefy. A lot beefier than what comes with the spreader normally. So we got that option. Hopefully it works out, but don't know until we try it. Here is our mixer tractor, the John Deere 6190R. It's got an IVT transmission. We've had this tractor for about 10 years now. It used to be our main chopping tractor and stuff like that, but kind of retired it to the mixer. This is the Anderson mixer wagon that we have. This thing is a great mixer, does a great job. It's got the rear door so you can process your bales and then dump it on the ground. You should pack that with your tire, not leave it in a loose pile, but that's a different story. Mixer. You know, we ran a Coon before this thing, and this thing's built twice as heavy as a Coon and mixes twice as good. So we got, what else we got? You can see our dump wagon down there. So we chop into a dump wagon and then dump it in the dump trucks and bring it back here when we're chopping. We don't go directly into a truck. We have a lot of small fields, and this way it works best for us. And we got the pinwheel rake. We got that a couple of years ago, and that's mainly just for raking together alfalfa or whatever we're chopping. Takes 3 windrows at a time. One of my favorite pieces of equipment on this whole farm is the King Hitter. Walking up on it right now. This thing will drive a fence post through 3 feet of frost. If you've ever used one of these, you absolutely love it. You just kind of hooks up to the 3-point hitch, runs off the hydraulics of the tractor. You line up your level right there, and then you got a rock spike. So if you're in really rocky ground, you swing this over, kind of pre-drills the hole in the ground, and then you put your post in, and you know, you got this weight, it's like 600-pound weight, I believe, and that thing will bash a post right into the ground. I've actually broken posts in half with this thing, you know. So if you got rocky ground like we got here, we have a lot of ledge. That's the only way you get fence posts in the ground. This is one of our silage trucks. We just got this last year. All of our silage trucks are retired ice cream delivery trucks. So we take the ice cream box off, and we bought this secondhand body for it, and works out well for us. You know, they got 300,000 miles on them, but it's not going to see a whole lot of mileage running silage back and forth. They usually last quite a long time doing that after they've been retired as ice cream trucks. This is our front end loader. We've had this, it's got to be going on 11, 12 years. Komatsu WA150. Small loader compared to what they use for digging dirt and stuff, but it works out well for loading up silage. It's another one of our corn trucks. Again, a retired ice cream truck that we bought a body for and made into a dump truck. There's John Deere 7330. This tractor's seen a lot of work. We are got to be about 10 or 11 years old also, maybe even 12. But we're trading this one in this year for a 6155. So this tractor harrows, plants, mows, all kinds of work. Junky old red McCormick. This tractor is reliable, I guess. Hard to get parts for. No one will service it. I used to have a couple of these on the farm. This is the only one we got left. It just runs the bale knife. Does not do much else work, and we're glad for that because it's really not that great of a tractor, but it works. The AC is cold. It's our 4-row John Deere corn planter. Get some new hoppers and things of that nature put on it over the winter. That's our old Bobcat that we sold to one of our employees. So he's got it in here, tinkering with it, getting it going again. Crop sprayer. They're bringing the equipment in now for the night, and this is one of my favorite tractors that we got. The John Deere 6120R. This thing is an absolute beast. normally just pulls the shit spreader and it packs corn silage. We got a Dungelman blade up there on the hill that goes on here, and this is our corn packing tractor. It's got the power quad transmission, not IVT. Kuhn side slinger spreader. Everybody that has cows has a spreader somewhat like this. We also have a Kuhn box spreader, but that's being used right now out in the field. Someday I'll get a video of that stuff going, and more ice cream delivery trucks / future corn trucks, I hope. Not for a while. These things are pretty new and shiny. And we got some old iron hanging out back here. Got an old H over there with a saw rig on the front, and this old International 856. Having trouble getting this tire broke free and spread out so it's wide and not so tippy. That's been pretty frustrating. Also had some electrical issues that we're working on. But these things are pretty much just decorations. Anyone that knows me knows that if I have the choice, I'll run something like that before I run the new John Deere. I was born in the wrong time frame. If it was 1950, I think I'd be happier. I think we all would. Tire storage. That's about it for over here. Up here on the hill, we got the Haybuster Rockies rock picker. We picked this up at auction. It actually belonged to Kimball Farm in Haverhill, Mass, where I used to work, and I literally have hundreds of hours picking rocks with this machine. You will pick more rocks in 15 minutes with this than you will with 3 guys all day in a field by hand. But it is the type of machine that you use it for a day and you work on it for a day, because rocks ruin equipment. We've put a new auger on it, replaced a ton of bearings over the years, but I wouldn't say that this machine is a bad machine at all. It's just seen a lot of use. You know, it's got to be getting near 20 years old, and we still use it, and it does a great job. So this is an old set of harrows that we don't really use anymore. It's a pretty aggressive setup and leaves ridges. Doesn't do that good of work, but it will chop up some corn stalks. Subsoiler. This also belonged to Kimball Farm over in Haverhill. You know, just rips and tears. Makes it so your fields drain better. You go over the headlands with that. Tear up the subsoil. This is our new harrow. This thing's great. Speed tiller. We went with this because each individual disc almost has a shock absorber system. So we have a lot of rocky soil around here, and this does a great job. If you hit a rock, just one disc will pop up instead of the whole row bouncing over it. There's no gang bolts or anything. They're all individual. And the roller on the back does a nice job of leaving your field looking nice. And we got a Vernlin 4-bottom plow. Does all our plowing. Good plow. Nothing ever goes wrong with that. This is our pump for our liquid manure that we just bought. Came with the spreader that I showed you earlier. And again, we had a brief lesson in how to use it, but we have not used it yet. So hopefully we can figure that out in the spring. Got a while to think about it. And you can see a couple more of our ice cream delivery trucks. Hopefully they'll be definitely the Peterbilt I hope to see as a silage truck. That's a pretty sweet truck, but